Hello farmers and welcome back to Griffin, Indiana. Frank just took off in the Voltra. He is spreading some cow manure on the cornfield that we just, corn silage last episode. The silos, both of them have been compacted. They are now covered. They are now fermenting. And we are ready to get to work. As you can see, this field of corn, it does need some plowing. The pH value now is good there at least. But if we come over here where the fertilizer was not, is it still reading good? I guess it's still reading good. Is that not doing anything to the fertilizer here? If I go here, nitrogen level is what I should be looking at. It's looking better. Nitrogen is saying 60. Oh, it's not going to show green or any color because I don't have a crop in here. So this is going to show me it's 140 kilograms per hectare, and over here it is 60. So we're getting the first layer of cow manure on. So I'm hoping by the time we plow it, seed it with canola, and maybe Frank can go right on back to the ground and, well, put down some more cow manure because we got plenty of it. We are going to grab the Deutzfire, and we got our subsoiler here. We're going to put that on now, and we are going to quote. It's plowing, but it's a subsoiler, so it counts as plowing. Anytime we do corn, well, you technically need to plow the field if you got the plowing option on. That is this on to? Yeah, not allowed to create field, so it's not on, which is good. We don't want it on. So, yeah, last episode, we did some corn silage over here, and I'm going to expand the subsoiler out a little bit further than it needs to, just because, I'm not really sure I know what was going on with the silaging. The forage harvester did not want to forage harvest some of the corn, as we're going to see here. This edge here just didn't do that because, well, the field's not quite lined up in a perpendicular. Is it perpendicular? Is that the word I'm looking for? Probably. I don't know. But yeah, the harvester just wasn't over here. But this section that we're coming up on, for some reason, I don't know why it wouldn't harvest it. Not too sure. It could be still has, quote-unquote, another crop here, and the harvester was just getting mixed up what was actually here. So we're just going to go ahead and plow it on in. Yep. Never mind that the telephone pole is always in the way. I want to make sure I get it all, so next time when we harvest, it's not much of an issue. I don't want to take down the roadside either. The town committee is getting after me from knocking down the road signs, so I'm trying to be more polite to the road signs around here. Now you can see we do have some crops here that are still withered from whatever harvest it may have been. Now, I may go ahead at some point and not have the field come out too close to these telephone poles. Workers in the future may have a problem. So as you can see with the subsoil, it's not going to take me too long to plow this field in. If I can get myself squared back up. I probably should have turned on GPS for this, and I may do that in a little while. Or I may get a worker going. We may just get Frank Jr. to come over and finish plowing. And we'll hop into the Steiger and start planting in some canola. We can plant in canola. Now the question is, when will it be ready for harvest? That's a good question. I think it won't be until next year, but we're going to plant it anyways just to see what happens. Who knows? It may grow quick enough and I can harvest it this year. Not too sure, but the only way to find out is to plant it and see what happens. So that's what we'll do. So if it's not ready for harvest until next season, what we'll do is I may just plow it right on in and then plant the corn back in. So yeah, the plan is by the end of this year, if money and everything goes well, we're gonna jump up our cattle count up to about 500, just to help get this along and see where we go from there. I think I really need to get this series into high gear because we're sitting at like 120 cattle, and here we are at the end of August. So Farming Simulator 22 is going to get here sooner than you realize. So I want to make sure we get moving and get up to 2,000. I just don't want to get up to 2,000 cattle when Farming Simulator 22 comes. I want to be able to run the farm for a while with 2,000 cattle. I just want to say, hey, we got to 2,000 cattle. The question is on this challenge is, can we keep feeding 2,000 cattle? I think we should be able to. I was actually kind of shocked at how much silage we got off of this field. So by the time we get a little more money and buy some more fields, yeah, we're going to have plenty of silage. Now, I may do something a little bit different. I mean, transporting the chaff up to the upper farm, not that big of an issue as of right now. But maybe in the future, I may put another silo down here, and then I'll transport the silage later. Actually, now looking at it, either way I do it, I got to transport it up to where the cow barn is. So, yeah, probably just keeping it where it was, keeping the original plan I had is all set to go. But definitely, I would like to still buy another field this year because we're going to need more straw. Straw is definitely going to be something I can see myself needing. Now, I could take on some harvesting contracts where fields have cereal crop in it, because I do got the mod to where I can take the straw off the field on a modded contract. So that'll give us more straw that way. We need the straw for the TMR, and we also need the straw for the bedding. I could go without putting straw down for bedding, but then again, their health won't be up to around the 100 percentile. I think the highest I've seen is 98%, and it stops there. I don't know how to get the last 2%. Not too sure. Not a clue. But as for today, anyways, our only goal for the rest of today is to get this field swapped over. We'll plant some canola into it. That field over there of soybean, I kind of forgot. I put down one layer of manure down. I didn't need to put any down because it's soybean. It doesn't really require any type of fertilizer. But I guess the good part is I got one layer down, so next season when I plant whatever cereal crop that we plan on planting, I'll have one stage of fertilizer already down. So one down, more to go. I don't mind wasting cow manure because we got plenty of it. And that's with only 100 cattle, so when we do get up to 500 by the end of the year, however that may occur, I was at one point thinking if we ever do buy cattle, we're just going to take our animal trailer, go down and buy and bring them back and forth. But if I want to buy, say, like 300 cattle, I think I'll just go ahead and purchase it and have them deliver it, which does get kind of expensive because we got transportation fees, but I'll have to find a way around it. I really don't want to have to do contracts. If I can avoid that, I'll be grateful. I don't have much to sell either, other than the milk that the cows are making, and I think we got like 70 or 80,000 liters of wheat. What do we got for grain here? I forgot here. Actually got 127,000. So that's probably like only 40 grand. And that's only going to buy me like 80 cattle. Oh well, we'll figure it out. It's still only midsummer, so I got the cows got some time to make some more milk. So I can sell the milk, get some more cash in that way. Milk is going to be the main income of this dairy farm, as you would think. It's a dairy farm. Of course you're going to make your money off of milk. That's the whole plan. Frank apparently thinks he's finished, which he is for now. I may actually have him come over here and jump in the Deutzfahr and finish off plowing this field in a little while. And we'll go over and grab the Steiger and get planted into some canola in this field now. Obviously, it's not going to take us too long to plant this field. It's going to take us like about a minute and a half, 2 minutes with the planter we got. So maybe I'll just go ahead and finish this field. And then I'll put Frank back in the Voltra and put down more cow manure. Now, the one thing I think we're okay on is, it was the pH level, right? The pH level still is fine, which is lime spreading. I think we're fine on the lime. I'll have to double check our precision farming map here in a little while. Now, at one point, I said I was going to get another Breedle spreader, one for lime, one for fertilizer, but seeing that we got so much cow manure, I'm not sure if I'll ever be doing some artificial fertilizer spreading anytime soon. Unless I go do a contract, then I might do so. But even if I do a contract, I may just send the Volter down with the spreader that we have. Because I do have the spreader. The reason why I'm using a worker on the cow spreader is I have it so the worker's taking it directly out of our GE haul. And that is what a cow pasture is called. So it saves me from having to reload it all the time. The worker can just keep on spreading the cow manure, and it's automatically taking it right from the cow manure stall from our haul. Nice little touch that they added there. But if I wanted to go for realism, I'd have to just turn that off and keep filling it up every so often. And that would be kind of a pain, I think. If it was multiplayer, I'd be like, yeah, we'll go ahead and take care of it. But single player, trying to get this all done, it could be a bit too much sometimes. But I do have to spread more manure down on our grass fields, which, as we do know, I'm not going to harvest again this year. But it'll be nice just to get it done so when next year comes, I don't have to worry about the grass fields until it's ready for harvest. But it feels good to be using the subsoiler, something we haven't needed for a while. But we'll need it every time we do corn, which will be once a year. But I was thinking definitely after I got done compacting the corn chaff that we had, You know, we will have 1 million liters of silage. That should be enough to take care of the cows per year if we had 500, I would think. We'll have to see how it gets along. So at least buy with 500 cows if I can see how much silage we go through in a year. Just got to times that by 4 and I'll know how much I need for 2,000 cattle. Now this should be classified as plowing. Let me go ahead and get out. So yeah, it says needs plowing. Yep, goes away. Does not need plowing. You can see the pH value is actually good, so I do not need any lime spread at this point. So we are good on just plowing it, seeding in some canola, and fertilizing. I just hesitated there for a second about maybe fertilizing it again. Only because, say the canola is not ready for harvest and I plow it in next year, that'll kind of count. Does that actually count as a fertilizer if I plow in canola? I know oilseed rape does that, but I don't know. Not oilseed rape, oilseed radish. I'm not sure if you plow in a crop, does that count as a fertilizer? It's been a while since I even done that, or if I ever done that, I don't know. If I've ever taken a good crop and just said, yeah, I don't want it, and plowed in. Actually, I take that back. I've probably done that with cotton a few times on a new map. Where we started off, it's like, well, I can't harvest cotton. I don't have the money or the means to be doing cotton harvesting the first couple days on the farm. That was one thing I didn't quite understand when Farming Simulator 19 came out. Well, I kind of get it from their perspective, but like on Ravenport, day one, I remember playing Farming Simulator 19, and I started with the fields that they kind of tell you to start off with, and one of them was cotton. I'm trying to think, all right, so how much is a cotton harvester? I'm like, okay. How much to lease it? Yeah, okay, I can't do that. And oh wait, you just can't pick up any bale. You need a special trailer for that. I was like, why would we have cotton? But I think they were just trying to show off the crop because cotton is a new crop for 19. I wonder if they'll do that when 22 comes out. When you start off for first field, it may have like you might have wine or soy. Is it sorghum? I think sorghum is one of the new crops that are going to be, as for base game crops go. I don't know. We'll see when 22 comes out, and that's coming faster than what you think. I mean, we're talking 3 months from now it'll be out. 3 months may seem like a ways off, but before you know it, it will be here. As I'm making this video and I'm thinking, okay, this video is going to be published when? I'm like, okay. Oh, I'm like, okay, that's the end of August. And I start thinking, where did August go? And meanwhile, my brain's still going, August? What happened to July? I don't even remember what happened in July at this point. It flew on by. Speaking of flying on by, we're flying on by with this plow job here. Or subsoiling, I should say. Which is kind of weird. I think I've tried this a few times. I keep falling for it every time. But occasionally I try taking this subsoiler out to do plowing contracts, but it doesn't work. Even though, like in our field here, as you saw, it needs to be plowed. I'm subsoiling it, and the game is saying, okay, you plowed it, but yet if I do it as a contract, this doesn't count. Makes no sense. Now, if I use GPS, I probably would have got this last strip no problem, but I was overlapping here and there. So I got a little strip to take care of, but not that big of an issue. Not with the speed that we're subsoiling this ground. But I was just thinking, yeah, this season's probably been moving along a bit faster than others, and after we actually get done taking care of this field today, I really won't have any farm work to do other than wait until fall to harvest at least the soybeans over in field number 30, and maybe this canola this fall / early winter, because we can harvest until the second day of winter with the GO here in Griffin, Indiana. There we go. We are all set subsoiling. We should be done with the Deutz-Fahr for today. And every year we will get the subsoil of the cornfield at least. About the only time we'll get to use that at this point, unless our other fields need it whenever. Alright, the Steiger should be ready to go. It should be already hooked up to the seeder, I think, or at least parked next to it. And I think there was enough seed when I got done with the soybean field to go ahead and finish off this field over here of canola. So let's run across the street. Get my exercise in running across here today. Soybeans are looking somewhat good. What is actually over here? This is, that's fertilizer. And a lot of it. So it must be lime inside the spreader. Almost said sprayer, but it's the spreader. Is this hooked up? No, it is not. Oh, it's close enough, though. There we go. And attach that, and we should be good to go, I think. Oh, we got plenty of seed in there for doing what we're doing. Yep, canola. Trying to see if I got room. Let's see. Let's go around this way. Hopefully the collision on the limbs of the tree are not out as far as they should be, but we're fine. We're good. Now I got to use to drive an articulated tractor again. It's been a while. Let's go over here and unfold this wonderful beauty, the 1870. Yeah, as you can see, if this is the first time seeing it, when I told you it's not going to take me long to seed this field, now you know why. I don't know what the widest drill is for the game. I don't think this is it. But I really wouldn't want one bigger at this point. I should be lowering all the closers are lowering down. There we go. Now she's dropped down. All right, let's turn it on. And I'm just trying to get myself so I know we're lined up somewhat good. So now that we've plowed the field in and I'm replanting, hopefully next year when we do forage harvesting, it's going to be curious to see if I got the same issue with this corner of the field next year for the corn. I mean, it's not a big issue as of right now because we definitely got plenty of silage for the cows that we have. But if I got the same issue next year, I don't know what's causing it. Just something to keep back in the noggin of mine of what's going on. But the first 3 years we got by with 500,000 liters of silage for 3.5, almost 4 years. I think this is, oh, yep, you weren't paying attention and your drill got caught on the telephone pole. Can I sneak around that, or am I articulating too much? Yep, you're articulating too much. Alright, how about if I do it kind of... Did I get it that time? You don't have to get that close to the pole. I can't help myself. I'm trying to get the whole field. Yeah, so we went like the first 3.5, 4 years with 500,000 liters. And now we got 1 million liters, so... It shouldn't be a problem just going 1 year, even if I bump it up to 500 cattle. I'm going to stay a little bit more focused now on the telephone poles on this field. Watch out for the sign. There we go. I did check the map to see if it showed any withered crops over here, and the map is not showing any, but that doesn't mean that they're not, quote-unquote, there somewhere. And I turned too tight where I think I'm stuck on the wheel back there. I'm not doing a good job of planting today in the Steiger 1870 combo. There we go. Now we broke free. I think maybe Frank would have done a better job of what I'm doing today. I do like that train that goes across through the center of town. Except for when I'm going down Main Street and the railroad crossings come down. Okay, let's not cut it too tight at once. There we go, that's better. Yeah, the Steiger definitely does need a little bit of diesel fuel put into it. It needs a little bit of repair, but this should be the last job for this season. Should be. I'm trying to think. What would I use? I don't know what else I'd use it for. Some people may say, well, you could put, when you harvest the soybeans over there at the end of fall, I could put in winter wheat or whatever, any kind of cereal crop, any winter cereal crop. But I don't like planting and having the crops grow through winter. It just takes longer. There's just more chance for them to go bad. Maybe not germinate, maybe wither, die off, whatever you want. But I'd rather just plant them in the springtime, harvest them early summer. And even if I can harvest this canola this year, you're definitely not going to plant corn in the winter, so no more planting for us after this field. And even if I buy another field, I'm not going to go ahead and plant in it this season either. And of course, we're not going to do any more compacting of silage. So yeah, the Steiger is pretty much done with work after today. Until next season. But this machine here, the Steiger, definitely worked out really well compacting that silage. Took no time at all. Coarse clay worked like a charm. Didn't take long on either side. And if I put a weight on the back of this thing, I probably would have compacted it even quicker, but I don't think it was 5 minutes in real time to compact either side. Yeah, overlapping quite a bit here, but that's fine. It's all good. But I really am hoping that we can harvest this canola just before winter. That way I don't have to wait until midsummer next year to harvest it, because I'm not going to wait until midsummer to harvest it. Got to plant that corn when it's ready to be planted. I can get by skipping on a couple of days if necessary, but I definitely would like to be able to harvest it. That way I can have more crop to sell, bring a little bit more cash in. As for buying the trailer that we did the corn chaff in, I think, like I said, we're just going to go ahead and lease that once a year. It's going to be like $4,000, just for the day. And it didn't take me an hour to do it, so... And even if it did, I don't think the extra cost would be too much. If I were to buy that trailer outright, it would cost like $90-some-odd thousand, and I don't think I'm going to be here long enough. Probably just be easier to just go ahead and lease it. I'll save myself some cash that way. I mean, if it ever comes to where the farm has more than enough money, and money is not really an issue. I mean, it's not really an issue right now, but I am tight on a budget. But let's just say we had like $4 million sitting in the bank account doing nothing, then I'll probably just buy it just to have it. I'm not a big fan of leasing equipment unless it's feasible to. So I'm hoping after we finish seeding this that I can send Frank back out to spread some more fertilizer, cow manure, on this field, and we should be all set. Sometimes I wonder why I even bother putting GPS on my tractors, because lately I hardly ever use them. To me it takes, at this point, for me doing farming simulator videos, it would take the fun out of it for me. I think the only time I would really use it if I was doing like weeding and the crops were so tall and you can't really see where you've been, or maybe fertilizing if the crops were too tall and you just couldn't see the ground change. So that's about the only time I probably use GPS at this point. Because I left a little bit of a strip there. That's because I overlapped just enough. That would be the difference, I think. That'd be great if I woke up next in-game day and this crop has already grown to its first growth stage. Just waiting for her to fold up like always. You gotta give her a minute. There she goes. It's almost like the machine does not want to end its season. It's like, no, I want to plant some more. It's like, no, you're done. You planted everything we own. Alright, canola. Start growing so I can harvest it this year. At least that's what I'm hoping to, but it's not the end of the world if it does or it doesn't, whatever. Well, at least next year we will know. that if you're trying to do corn's about the only thing I'll be able to do for the geo that we are running. I'm going to drive this back to the farm, but not before we tell Frank to hop in the Vulture, turn around, and start fertilizing the field once again. In the beautiful orange Vulture that we have here. And I really don't care if I overlap too much because we got plenty of this stuff to spread around. Let's see, does it... Yep, it's taken. There we go, 200 kilograms per hectare. That's the max it can take. I'll probably go park this next to the pressure washer. I'll wash it all up. And then off camera, I'm going to park this into the shed. I don't think I'm going to do this on camera. Off camera, I'll have no problems with it. Parking in the shed while I'm recording, yeah, it'll just be like a complete disaster. And I'm not going to put more seed into it at the beginning of next year. I don't want the seed sitting in it all winter. For a second there, I was like, where's my pressure washer? I had to think about it for a second. It's around the other side. And I'll fix it at the beginning of next season. Hopefully by then we'll have a little bit more cash. Shouldn't take too long to clean this. I might not be able to reach the seed tanker, the 850. Might be too far for our hose to reach. But actually, I think it will reach. Will it? I think it actually is washing it, so we'll just leave it here. Yep, the dirt on the rim is almost completely gone. There we go. She's all set. It's all good. Let it drip dry for a couple hours before I go ahead and park it in the shed. But let's go ahead and teleport on up to... Where are we here? There we go. Up to see the cows. We're not really up here to see the cows, but you can see it's been compacted. It's probably only like at 2% maybe. Okay, still at 1%. Yeah, the only thing that kind of sucks about it is when it's fermenting, you can't really see how many liters are actually in here. But if I remember correctly, it's been a couple days since I recorded last episode, we got a total of 1 million liters in here. Helper I has completed their task. I don't think so. What? Wait. What are you doing on the other farmer's field? Frank! Gosh darn it, Frank. What are you... We're done doing contracts. How did you end up over here? We don't even own this field. I had you overlap the edge of our field here, and you decided to come over to the other farmer's field? Okay. I'm glad that we're just using cow manure because we got plenty of it, so I'm not gonna... But you may have over-fertilized the other farmer's field. You may not be happy about that. I'm just saying. Alright, Frank, can you just... Our field, please. And our field only, please. So I can get back to doing what we were talking about. Alright, so I think I may have shortchanged myself a little bit here, but we're talking a little strip or not. No, I think we're overlapping. We're good. We are good. We are fine. Yeah, but anyways, back up to the cow barn. Yeah, so we got like 1 million liters of silage, and yeah, nothing's changed because we're still in the same in-game day. But I think I'm using like 15,000 to 20,000 liters a day. So in 2 days, that will be silage. So if anything, it'll be down to like 13,000 liters, so just enough. We got plenty of hay and straw. We're going to top that off. I got some extra bales down there. It looks like we are using the cow manure pretty good here, which is nice. Because it's going to build up for a while. Let's come over here just to make sure how much straw do I got left for their bedding. I don't remember when I put a bale over here. I got about 8,000 liters left, so probably until tomorrow. And while I'm here, while I'm thinking about it, because I don't remember if I topped them off with water, so we'll go ahead and do that. And we got 32,000 liters of milk. And just to refresh my memory, and maybe yours, 121 cattle is where we're at. We got 3 males in here. Only 3 males have been offspring, which is kind of a weird ratio. I think we've bought in 60 cattle. So we've had, 61 cattle born as offspring and only 3 males. So that's pretty good when you're trying to run a dairy farm, I suppose. But all of our fields are kind of taken care of. Yep, nothing needs to be plowed. Fertilizer, nitrogen's looking good. pH value is a little, it's getting to be sort of meh. So next year, if we harvest canola, I may want to put some lime down before we do some corn. And the whole thing about the canola harvest. So we're planting canola on the first day it can be planted. Now the GL says they can be harvested anytime up until the first and second day of winter. So if the canola grows fast, I might be able to harvest it here, but it may have to grow all the way till we can harvest it in the first and second day of summer. If that's the case, then I'm not going to wait. I mean, I could plant. I may even try harvesting, if that's the case, harvest it next year on the first and second day of summer as soon as I can. Then plant the corn and then harvest the corn, because we can harvest the corn until late. Yeah, that might be the rotation that we do. And the reason why we're doing that rotation is because corn canola gives us a positive yield on our field. Wheat soybean is not too bad. We get a little reduction in soybean, but only by 0.05%. Or technically 5%. 5% drop on that, but we get a plus 14% on the wheat. So that works out rather well. What is the milk going for today anyways, currently? Ooh, it's not too bad. But I think since I don't really need the cash now, because like I said, after today, after Frank is done fertilizing that field, I mean, yeah, I got to fertilize the grass fields, but that's just the free fertilizer that we're using. I really don't need cash right now, so I think we'll wait until we have a lot more milk and make a big profit on a certain day. But anyways, that is going to do it for today, guys. Let's go down and see what Frank is up to. All right, so you're actually going to fertilize the rest of the field. Congratulations. But that is going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching. As always, I'll catch you again right here in Griffin, Indiana. And probably it'll be in the fall next episode. But until then, have a good one.